A Trump-loving leader in Canada just got a rude awakening after taking the pilgrimage of shame to Mar-A-Lago to try to appease Donald Trump. I'm talking about the Premier of Alberta. Her name is Danielle Smith. She spent her taxpayer dollars going to Mar-A-Lago to kiss the ring. You see her here with far right-wing podcaster Jordan Peterson and Kevin O'Leary at Mar-A-Lago. That's what she was doing. And she wanted to deliver a message. Donald, you need us in Alberta. Why don't we all just team up and go after Mexico? And why don't we form a special relationship with Alberta? It should be noted Danielle Smith is from the Conservative Party, and she's often been referred to as Maple MAGA. We've covered her before and her ridiculous appeasement of Donald Trump. Not only did she leave Mar-A-Lago empty-handed, but Donald Trump just utterly disrespected her. After meeting with Donald Trump in Mar-A-Lago, Alberta Premier Danielle Smith says that Canada needs to be prepared for 25% tariffs starting on January 20th on all U.S.-bound products, including on crude oil. She says, quote, "I'm not expecting any exemptions," she told reporters. What this basically means is that the price of oil is going to go up significantly, a massive jolt on the way as a result of Donald Trump's tariffs. This is going to impact the price at the pump here in the United States, and it is going to lead to a cascading effect of retaliatory tariffs. Great work there, Danielle Smith, for going there, kissing the ring, and then being told there will be no exemptions. Alberta's going to be included. And also great work, at least in my opinion, making a fool of yourself, trying to divide and conquer by trying to cut some deal with Donald Trump to go after Mexico. You really thought that was going to work? Let me show you more photos of her here, and here's some additional photos of her. By the way, as Sean Amato reported, Alberta's premier appeared to be doing her morning news conference from a hotel bed. Was she in Mar-a-Lago or in Palm Beach? Her office only said that she was on vacation with her husband, citing security reasons. So I guess we'll see where she turns up next. Sean Amato then responded, "I stand corrected. It's a couch, not a bed. A staffer for the premier confirms before attacking me. That's good to know. I did try to confirm her location earlier, but unfortunately her press secretary would not even confirm what state or country she's now in." Sounds a bit like Maple MAGA to me. Sean Amato goes on to say, "People saying it doesn't matter if it's a couch or bed are 100% correct." The premier said she was going on a family vacation, then turned up at Mar-a-Lago the next day. So there are questions. Business or pleasure trip? Who pays? Where is she off to next? That's all. Cheers. So here, Danielle Smith, just to remind you, this is from November 18th of 2024, when Donald Trump began his campaign of trying to make Canada submit, when he started threatening Canada at the very beginning. Remember what her reaction was? Because we covered it here on the MeidasTouch network. She says that, and this is when the Conservative Premier of Ontario was saying the same thing, although Doug Ford has even Doug Ford's come around to say to Donald Trump, "We're standing up to you. You've disrespected us." But Danielle Smith, the Conservative Party Premier of Alberta, has not. But here she was on November 18th, 2024, attacking Mexico and saying, "Let's gang up on Mexico, everybody." Watch this. Let's play it.
The real issue that we have is that Mexico has not been that equal partner with the United States. And in addition to that, they're inviting China to engage in investment in Mexico, which is hollowing out the manufacturing sector in both America as well as Canada. And so that's why I think we need to take a bilateral approach, put Canada first, and be able to get a carve out in for all of North America, for both Canada and US, if we can. And if not, then we'll certainly be prepared to work with the American administration on whatever products it is that they need, so that we can have a constructive relationship. And I think our lead is going to be on energy.
Do you agree with Ontario Premier Doug Ford that maybe Mexico should be cut out of the process if it won't comply with sort of the spirit of the USMCA? That seems to be what you just said there. Am I understanding you correctly?
1,000%. And I had a chance to talk to Premier Doug Ford about it. And so I'm very much in sync with what he has to say. Look, Mexico is important to Canada. They're our fourth largest trading partner in Alberta. But just to give you the idea of the difference in the relationship, we have about $2.9 billion in bilateral trade with Mexico. We have $188 billion in bilateral trade with the United States. We certainly cannot sacrifice our relationship and friendship with our largest trading partner if this is a trade irritant.
And let me show you just another press conference that she gave, another short clip right here, where she was basically, again, showing her MAGA maple or maple MAGA bona fides. Here, play this clip.
What do you make of Doug Ford's vow to cut off energy to the U.S. in the wake of the 25% tariff threats?
Well, let me be clear from the Alberta perspective. Under no circumstances will Alberta agree to cut off oil and gas exports. We don't support tariffs. I don't support tariffs on Canadian goods, and I don't support tariffs on U.S. goods, because all it does is make life more expensive for everyday Canadians and everyday Americans. So instead, we're taking a diplomatic approach, and we're meeting with our allies in the U.S. We're making the case for Alberta oil and gas to be part of the solution to energy affordability, to energy security, and to, generally speaking, North American defense security as well. And of course, we'll work with our counterparts in Montana in a shared border arrangement so that we can improve public safety, crack down on illegal migrants and illegal drug trafficking. And that's part of the reason why we're announcing this today.
I mean, how utterly humiliating. What a disgrace, folks. Seriously? I do want to show you this because Prime Minister Justin Trudeau made an appearance recently on the Jen Psaki show. Shout out to Jen. And here Trudeau talked about his meeting with Donald Trump, and he said, I told Donald Trump, why don't you want to do a trade? You want to say that Canada should be the 51st state? How about we take over Vermont? How about we take over California? Here, watch this.
At our borders.
I'm assuming he didn't bring up his intention to publicly say he was going to annex through economic means your country.
It actually sort of came up at one point, and then we started musing back and forth about this. And when I started to suggest, well, maybe there could be a trade for Vermont or California for certain parts, he immediately decided that it was not that funny anymore, and we moved on to a different conversation. So this isn't out of the blue that he's doing this, but my focus has to be not on something that he's talking about that will not ever happen, but more on something that might well happen, that if he does choose to go forward with tariffs that raise the cost of just about everything for American citizens, that on top of that, we're going to have a robust response to that.
I want to ask you.
Now let me share with you this. This is NDP Ontario leader, Marit Stiles, responding to Trump's attack on Canada. Let's play it.
And so this kind of threat that's coming at us, at first, I think people thought it was sort of funny or interesting, or he's just trying to get our backs up. But we're taking it real seriously right now. We see this as an existential threat. And let's be clear, it's not just, a threat to our leadership, right? This is a threat to working people in our country who rely on trade, who rely on those relationships. And what I have to say to Donald Trump is, you're going to come after us. We're going to fight you.
And folks, looks like a new favorite, or someone who's going to be leading potentially the Liberal Party has emerged. Someone by the name of Mark Carney, who's expected to launch a Liberal leadership bid next week, backed by 30 members of Parliament, according to sources. He used to lead Bank of Canada and leader at Bank of England. It goes on to talk about how, Pierre Poilievre, the leader of the Conservative Party in Parliament, he thought that he was going to wrap up a victory in the upcoming elections. I mean, just so you know right now, the parliament is in a period called prorogue, which just means while the Liberal Party is picking a new leader, they had to go to the Governor General in Canada to basically kind of pause Parliament while the Liberal Party picks a new leader. That's expected to last until about March 28th. And then we can expect an election, my sources tell me sometime in May or June, a national election. It was supposed to be in October. It'll probably be moved up slightly as Prime Minister Trudeau resigned. Gave an opportunity to inject some energy into the Liberal Party. And one of the things we're now seeing as well is with Mark Carney emerging, that could shift the game right here. From humble beginnings to the G7 stage, Carney's heavyweight status contrasts sharply with Poilievre's alignment with figures like Jordan Peterson, Ezra Levant, Elon Musk, and others. And you may recall my coverage when Mark Carney was one of the finance ministers that Prime Minister Trudeau was considering. And Mark Carney came out with a drop in the hammer on Donald Trump. When Donald Trump was mocking Canada, Carney said, "This is carrying the joke too far. The casual disrespect, Donald, the poor tax math, and ignoring that workers on both sides of our border will be better off if we work together. Time to call it out, stand up for Canada, and build a true North American partnership." Again, Mark Carney, I think, is one of the favorites to become the Liberal Party leader as they head into an election post the pro-rogue period. But we will see. A dynamic is shifting there, and I think as that pilgrimage of shame by Danielle Smith was now exposed to the world. I mean, just think about it. She shows up at Mar-A-Lago and she comes back with the message that not only did I not do anything, I made things worse. No exemptions, everybody. At least that's my opinion. Share with me what your opinion is. But MAGA Maple, not a good strategy. And it also shows you never appease Trump. You can't appease the guy. You give him an inch, he takes your life. That's what he's known for. You have to stand up to the bully and not back down. That's it. You can't back down, or you certainly can't obey in advance. And Danielle Smith is a poster child for not just obeying in advance, but, thinking these grandiose delusions that she and Donald were going to screw Mexico, where President Claudia Sheinbaum is showing how you stand up for a sovereign nation. Tell me what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers, and thank you so much for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.